everybody's been talking about Kanye's. Let me just say this. I am in no way defending Kanye. I'm just saying that I went to Defcon 3 this weekend, and the crowds were nuts, and I couldn't get to see anything. I didn't get any autographs. I didn't get any of that.
No swag.
No swag.
No hoodies.
No. So I just think like him deciding to go to Defcon 3. Kudos to him if he really thinks he's going to enjoy it there, because I found it to be just the crowds to be just too crazy. Before we get into the tweet, this little nugget initially we missed on the Tucker Carlson Fox thing, and
you mean the interview he did that was supposed to be through a half hour, and he kind of just went on for 2 hours and
right,
picked
of course.
the best stuff.
This little segment, and I don't care about Jared Kushner at all, but I did think this was interesting, and it begins to makes a little more sense after you see his tweets.
All of these things that Jared, somehow doesn't get enough credit for with his work. And what is it? His work in Israel or his work in Palestine? What is this? You know where he made these peace treaties? Where was that? Do you know the facts on this right here? So I'm like...
I think that was between Israel and some of the Arab nations.
I just think it was to make money. I don't know. Is that too heavy-handed to put in this platform?
No, that's your opinion. We're not in the censorship business.
Okay, thank you. And I just think that that's what they're about, is making money. I don't think that they have the ability to make anything on their own. I think they were born into money. And for me, as a maverick and a talent and a person that's been,
Wait, can we go back and see who's the they is he talking about?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, he is referring to, I think he basically spoke about a dinner that he had. Maybe he gets into this later in the interview, but he had a dinner with Jared and Jared's father and Trump.
Well, and brother Josh also.
Yeah.
Josh.
Or maybe it was his dad or his brother. So it's a little bit ambiguous at this point.
Yeah, at this point, when this came out, I think it didn't come up for us because I think we just assumed he's talking about the Kushners.
Group at the dinner potentially.
Yeah.
Or let's just listen a little more. I think he's correct insofar as that Jared is pretty corrupt. I don't know why he doesn't think that Trump didn't wet his beak in that one, as it were. But
and it wasn't just about money; it's like power, all that stuff. Like,
well, and we should just put this out there: Kanye has lost his mind and is has been on a rampage of destruction for the past decade. So, Tucker Carlson is platforming him for his own insidious and exploitative purposes. But this guy there needs to be somebody around him that puts him out of the spotlight, because it's just nuts right now.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember Tucker extending this invitation after Kanye said George W. Bush does not care about black people.
Yeah.
Or just the first, a decade and a half of his career when he was talking about systemic racism and how black people aren't treated well. But now the only time he talks about racism is when he feels people are racist to him, because that's the only lens in which racism can be discussed with Kanye.
Put up his tweets. People should see this. Obviously, I think a lot of people are aware of the tweets at this point. He wrote, this was on Saturday night, I guess. I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going Defcon 3 on Jewish people, he capitalizes. The funny thing is, this is actually really funny. It is not funny. The funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jew. Also, you guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone who ever opposes your agenda. Now,
is he talking about the Kushners when he says "you guys"?
Yeah, that would be quite specific.
He could be talking about the black Israelites who not that blackballed him, but this concept of he's actually a Jew.
Yeah, right.
And obviously, Matt has an interesting theory about the Defcon 3. He was talking about Defcon, of course.
Yeah.
But
I didn't get this. Someone on Twitter said, if you don't know which is higher, DEFCON 1 or DEFCON 5, you say DEFCON 3.
Yeah, you just take a middle ground. Defcon.
Well, and also, you don't
could
want
go to Comic-Con, you could go to BravoCon, but he's going to Defcon 3.
You don't want to start at DEFCON 1 because it just makes it seem unserious. You've got to build up to that. But let's also play this clip. This is also funny to me. He's got that White Lives Matter shirt that he was wearing with Candace Owens, and his father, former Black Panther. Mm-hmm. I have no idea what his relationship with his father is, but
I used to be a pretty big Kanye fan. I don't know if it's that close. He was incredibly close with his mother, who passed away. But it is odd that his father has this political background, and this is what Kanye's become. But I'd imagine that Kanye pays for a lot of his life, so maybe him being in favor of these White Lives Matter shirts makes a bit more sense.
But here's the thing. To the extent that he's in favor of these White Lives Matter shirts, I don't think it is in the way that Kanye thinks it is. Listen to the way that Kanye speaks about this.
And for the people, even if you don't believe in God, God believes in you.
So you made reference to the White Lives Matter T-shirt which you brought out at Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Why did you do that, and what did it mean?
Attention.
I do certain things from a feeling. I just channeled the energy. It just feels right. It's using a gut instinct, a connection with God, and just brilliance. As if you asked Tanya Harding how she did the triple flip or the triple spin. She was in so much practice that when it was time for her to skate in a competitive format, it just happened. It happened outside of practice. It happened in the real format, and that's what's happening. Is God is preparing us for the real battles. And we are in a battle with the media. The majority of the media has a godless agenda, and the jokes in that work, and this whole he's crazy and all these things, they don't work because the media has, they've also watched travesties happen, just even specifically to me, and just watch it and act like it wasn't happening, and they stay quiet about it.
What if they?
I want to answer the white. Yeah. I feel like someone caught what I was saying, the comparison to Tanya Harding about the White Lives Matter. My dad is an educated ex-Black Panther, and he put a text to me today. He said, "White Lives Matter, ha 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 ha," and I said, I thought the shirt was a funny shirt. I thought the idea of me wearing it was funny. And I said, "Dad, what do you think it was funny?" He said, just a Black man stating the obvious.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there are a couple of things I want to note here. First off, you imagine being Tucker Carlson and walking away from this, how do you not feel just incredibly just dirty and gross that you are literally talking to this guy and exploiting how disturbed he is? But they've it's fascinating to me. Tanya Harding does those triple Lindy's or whatever she's doing because she's practicing.
Yeah, every day, early in the morning.
And when she does it in a competition, it's because of all the practice she's done, not because God says today I'm going to.
Some people call it God, some people call it muscle memory. Who knows?
Right, yeah, exactly. But
yeah, also Kanye's getting into the business of representing athletes. He might have try to get a better understanding of what goes into athletic prowess. I think, yeah.
But anyway. What his father is saying, Black man stating the obvious, that's why it's funny, is that he is saying that your shirt is descriptive, not prescriptive. That you are stating the obvious, that white lives matter. the whole point of Black Lives Matter is because it is obvious that white lives matter. Not that Kanye is, what he thinks is funny is that I'm promoting this and I'm black.
Yeah.
I'm promoting that white lives should also matter too. Where his father is saying, dude, it's funny because we all know that. You're stating the obvious.
Yeah.
Kanye shared the text too. Yeah, his dad said, "White lives matter, ha ha ha." I thought that was so funny. Kanye said, "What did you like about it?" Which is not what did you think, what did you like about it?
Right.
And he says that a black man was declaring the obvious. Like, I don't know what his dad's...
What does Kanye say after that?
That's the end of
play this clip.
That's the end of...
And, my dad doesn't listen to rap music.
Pause it for 1 second. Tucker is right there. That look on his face, this thing.
He has no idea.
Tucker is saying
yeah.
Kanye didn't realize that his father was sort of like a little bit dissing him.
Yeah.
That's what that look is. That's what that look is. Like, I'm going to look like Tucker's sort of doing the exact same thing that the dad did, which is pretending what Kanye is saying is sort of amusing and also not indicating that the joke was on him.
You can't do that. Like, I mean, if you've ever been around somebody who's like kind of going through a difficult mental health episode, you have to be a bit touch and go and like let them have these kinds of things. That's
well, it's also just not that. It's also the guy is just hugely famous and wealthy,
yes.
and that's what's going on here. And Tucker is getting, his
what I mean from his dad's perspective.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And, my dad doesn't listen to rap music, and he's like super educated. We opened up a water distribution center in the Dominican Republic together. He's like the original Steve Jobs, but he was getting blocked every which way with all of his ideas. And he didn't have an endless bank account, and he didn't have Instagram. So all these ideas, he had to like take them back and compress them. Like, my dad is the most brilliant person that I know, and we actually have a strained relationship because I was taken from him because my mom was an actress, so she was a liberal.
Are you joking? Like, his whole career was about how obsessed with his mom he is and how she's the greatest person of all time. Right? He named his freaking company Donda after. I don't know what's going on with him. Whatever. I'm a little... it makes me sad. Like, I used to be such a huge fan of his music, and I thought that, like, a lot of the political messages in it were really good up until Yeezus, which was less than 10 years ago, with, like, Blood on the Leaves and songs like that. But it's just, he's lost his mind. I mean, I saw him when he was crying hysterically saying how Kim Kardashian wanted to abort his daughter on the campaign trail. I don't know if you saw that. And when he was trying to run for president and all of this, none of this stuff makes sense. But I don't know. I mean, I just feel like he's conflated getting attention and being eliciting reactions from people with art, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, when people get offended by you wearing a White Lives Matter shirt, that's not because you're so fucking brilliant, dude. It's because of you have stripped it of all of its context and you have made it about you and yourself getting attention. So it's just
the way he rambles, though, like about the Tanya Harding thing, and then about like his dad. Like, this is somebody who is lacking in social interaction, like the meaningful social interaction. Like, you should be talking about how much you revere your dad to people who love you, not going on Tucker Carlson and being like, oh yeah, he's the greatest guy I never know. Like, this, you're swimming with sharks right now.
Yeah.
Kanye's divorce dad era. Don't forget the text to P. Diddy that Kanye himself leaked, showing Kanye claiming that Jewish people told Diddy to call him and silence him.
And also, we didn't even get to this clip, but he tells Tucker Carlson at one point that Hillary Clinton, because she knows Kim Kardashian, subverted his marriage and caused his divorce. So that is
not inconceivable.
It's mental health and narcissism and just like long many years of getting the wrong incentives for behavior that is entirely unacceptable.
The text with P. Diddy, let's stop playing these internet games and don't feel threatened. You'll be fine. Just love. P. Diddy's trying to set up a meeting. Kanye replies, this ain't a game. I'm going to use you as an example to show the Jewish people that told you to call me that no one can threaten or influence me. I told you this was war. Now go and get you some business.
There you go. All right.
Explicit.
Yeah,
And it was just Friday that the Republican House GOP, I think it was, account tweeted out the tweets, Elon, Kanye, and Trump. And then, that's how they started the weekend.
Like a gift, Kanye tweets a bunch of anti-Jewish things after that.
After Elon welcomed him back to Twitter like 10 hours earlier.
All right. Well, that is hopefully our last Kanye segment ever again.